Welcome to the A.M.P podcast, where we delve into the inspiring stories of entrepreneurs, motivational coaches, and business leaders. Join us as we hear about their journey to success and the challenges they faced along the way. We'll uncover their secrets to perseverance and determination and gain valuable insights into what it takes to reach your goals. The journey may not be beautiful, but it is always purposeful. So sit back, relax, and be ready to be inspired by those who have dared to dream big and make it a reality. Wepa! What up, mi gente? It's Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Al Mega podcast. I am. And today we're going to get fired up, baby, because we have an amazing guest. He is a sales expert. He is a multi-location gym owner. He is a former pro wrestler. That's right. He was giving out the people's elbow before The Rock, and he's here to charge you up and fire up your sales team. The one, the only, the legendary Mr. Dustin Bogle. Wepa. That's right, baby. Lead the way. Let's reinforce it, and let's make people accountable and make them handle their business the Dustin way, the Bogle way. What's going on, Dustin? How you doing?
Glad to be here. I love the showmanship, and it's funny. I know we're going to dive into the book, but check this out. Only a wrestler would get their shirt printed on or get their book printed on a shirt, and that's that showmanship, baby. So I love your showmanship. Let's do this, man. Let's make it fun for the audience.
Let's absolutely rock, Dustin. Thank you for coming. And folks, he's an amazing powerhouse here, and let's just dive right in. Origin story. Yeah. First, tell us a bit where you originally from and the sparks that started you on this entrepreneurial journey.
Yes. So let's get right into the elbow drops, man. I'm from Southern California, recently moved to Texas just 2 years ago, but born and raised in sunny SoCal. And so very heavy Mexican influence being right by the border. So Lucha Libre shows. And when I was in high school, I basically got invited to a gym by a friend, got in shape, and then ended up going into wrestling school just by being around a bunch of buddies like pro wrestling. So we said, screw it, let's do this. Let's actually go for it. And so we signed up for a wrestling school and learned how to do the clotheslines and the drop kicks and everything. And so my first wrestling character was Diablo. And so you can't tell now because I'm bald, but back then I had long hair. I had fire all over my gear. I would come out and I'd hit soda out of people's hands and be this mean bad guy. And so
you were the heel. Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm the heel, baby. So then I'm going to these Lucha Libre shows, and because I'm the only white guy in the ring, it's very easy to get heat, to say, screw you guys, screw Mexico, and say all these, mean things. People are throwing sodas, they're throwing food. And so I did that for 10 years. I was this mean heel named Diablo, man. So it was a blast. I loved it.
Awesome. So what happened? 10 years in the business. What changed?
Yes. I would say there's two things. Number one, the longer I did it, the more I realized that this is not what my purpose was on earth. And so I think there's always signs. If you believe in a higher being like I do, there's signs telling you what you're meant to do. And there's things that are like pushing you, saying, stop doing this. This is not what you're meant to do. And I think we ignore it. We all hear like, you got to grind. It's going to be tough. It will be. But if it's like absurd tough, that might be something telling you you're not meant to do this. And so start to open your eyes up. And what I did during the weekdays to pay my bills is I was a personal trainer Monday through Friday. And that's what I did for a living. The weekends when I was a pro wrestler, I wasn't making any money. You get paid $20 a show. Sometimes I got paid
$20 a show.
Yeah. So it didn't even cover gas, man. Yeah.
Oh my God. So no, wait, before you continue, I just want people to know that wrestling is not easy. This guy was taking physical abuse for $20 a night. Wow. Yes.
And that's when you start getting paid. When you're paying your dues, you do it for free. You're like, I'll be there. I'll be in the opener. I'll lose money. I'm paying my food. I'm paying my gas. And so, yes, that's what that, young starving artist is willing to do, right? We're willing to do whatever it takes to express our art. And so that's what I did. And so, that's kind of the cutting your teeth into the business. But essentially it was, the longer I did it, the more I realized I'm not built for this. I'm a morning person. It's late nights. It's like, you're a morning person. You're not going to probably make it as a rock star trying to be up till 2 or 3 a.m. the food. Like I lost a bunch of weight, but then I got into pro wrestling as a bunch of fast food and I started gaining it back. So I was like, man, I can't handle this. And then again, it was just like the environment. Like I was just like, hey, this isn't like my people. I'm seeing people do steroids. I'm seeing people snort cocaine. I'm seeing guys cheat on their wife. I was like, these guys are a bunch of pirates. I love them to death, but this is just not me.
Yeah,
I don't
the
feel
energy is not, you're not feeling that
Yeah.
vibe of energy. I feel that,
Yes.
it's going against the grain, against your soul,
Yes.
if you will. And I understand that 100. I mean, and if everybody's seen these wrestling documentaries, Dustin ain't lying. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in those back rooms that, you got to be mentally prepared to handle.
Yep. So that the second one I would say is the one that I had no power over, and that was just the damage on my body. Although you see people do this for 20, 30, 40 years, it's mind-blowing to me because I did it for 10 years. I got scanned by a chiropractor. They said you have the back of an 80-year-old, and I was in my 20s. And it's just from getting slammed and slammed. You go to wrestling school, they're doing thousands of reps of body slams, and then you have matches, you're getting slammed. And so although people know like, hey, it's a show, it's a physical show. It's like being a stunt man, like people can get hurt. I got stitches on my head from taking a chair shot. People get thrown through tables. Accidents happen. A guy thinks he can pick you up and then he can't. You land weird on your neck. Like it is a physical
Did that happen
show.
to you?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever have a bad Oh, man. Yeah. My middle brother was into the wrestling scene. And one time he invited me over. I almost wanted to jump out the seat and jump into the ring with him. And that's my brother. Fun, how dare you?
Yeah. So yeah, like I loved it. But I think once I started going into business and all these doors started opening, I started to see this is what I meant to do. I meant to help people with fitness and I meant to help people with business. And that's what I do. And I have been doing for many years now. And I know that that's how I'm going to make my impact on the world.
So was there a key moment in your physical training when you were helping people during the week that you said, I'd rather do this? Did it happen there or did it happen in the locker room when you said this? That's it, I give.
It was actually, there's two moments I'll share. The first where I decided I wanted to become a trainer was when I lost 60 pounds of body fat. And when I saw how much different my life, my quality of life went up. Yeah, I was 260 pounds in high school. I lost 60, went down to a lean 200. I had abs, I was muscular. And so it wasn't about just the body. Like that felt good, of course, but I got more confidence and I stood taller. My posture, I slept like a baby. I had more energy. I just had more mental clarity. There's all these side effects that people don't know till they get fit, and then they're like, "Oh, I know. Now I know. I'm in with the click. I get what you guys are talking about always." And so you can keep telling people, but until they experience it, you just can't like overstate how amazing it feels when you feel like your best self in your body, when you're healthy, fit, and strong. So that was when I decided to become a trainer. When I decided that I want to go all in on fitness was when people started saying the same word over and over again. And the word was confidence. They're like, Dustin, since training with you, I'm more confident. I decided to take the risk. I'm going to go open that business. Dustin, since training with you, I'm more confident. I'm going to go talk to that guy that I've been afraid to talk to because now I feel more sexy in my body. Dustin, because of you, I feel more confident. I'm going to go to my boss next week and I'm going to ask for that promotion. And I said, oh my God, like nobody talks about this word enough. Confidence can literally change your life. And the people who are afraid to go take risks, usually it's because they lack self-confidence. And then you see the guys that are the risk takers, they tend to be oozing with confidence. And I'm like, man, of course I want to help people lose fat, gain muscle. That's like the physical stuff. But it's what happens in your mindset that's the most valuable. And that is confidence, right?
So let's explain that to people though, because there's a difference between cocky and confidence.
There's a fine line.
So to you, what's that fine line? Because a lot of people mistake confidence for cockiness when it's just a person just feeling happy with themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. So to you, what is that line?
There's two things. Are you humble? Which means like you can start doing cool things. You can start making money. You can start getting fit. You can start doing amazing things and be successful. But can you keep yourself in check, right? And so like a lot of people, you get tested when you start getting a little bit of success on your humility. And so I think number one, that is what keeps you from being arrogant. The second is that are you doing it in service of others? Because it's not bad. Like ego has been getting a bad rap. Like people, ego's bad. Ego's the enemy. Stay away from ego. No. You need to have ego. You need to have confidence in yourself because no one else is going to come in and give it to you. So I think it's healthy to have a good, healthy ego. But where do you channel it? If it's all about you, like for example, I don't tend to click a whole lot with bodybuilders because they tend to be so focused on their body. It's like an individual sport. They're constantly looking in the mirror. They're picking themselves apart. And really the only person that gains anything is themselves when they continue to make their bodies better. I like people who are more in a team sport and they're thinking about a team and they're like, I want to get fit so the team wins. You know, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, I want to be better at my skill set so we all win the championship. And so I think when you're in service of others, you're chasing self-development, but it's in service of we instead of me. That's the defining line.
So the way you're talking, the we and all, because that must come from that wrestling world, because you have to trust your partner, right? So how did pro wrestling help you then in the business world overall?
Man, I got so many lessons, but I'll tell you two that really stand out to me. The first is you got to be unique. Like the most memorable characters. I'll even throw it at you here, Al. What are two of the most memorable characters you could think of in wrestling?
Ultimate Warrior, favorite, loud, right? Bunksters, wild, and it's just Hulk Hogan because I was Hulk, man. Come on, bro.
Yes. So yes, these are guys that have larger than life characters. Other ones I often hear: The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like huge, ridiculous characters. And I'm like, does anybody remember Mark Miro, right? Or just Wilson Smith? Like these guys that didn't really go anywhere. And they just kind of came out in black trunks or red trunks, and they just had a first and last name, and they didn't have any cool theme or gimmick.
The jobbers.
The jobbers were forgettable. And so here's the thing. Like when we're talking about your business, are you in the red ocean, right? We've all heard of that book, Red Ocean and Blue Ocean. The red ocean is red because it's bloody. All the sharks are fighting for the same customers. So are you in an industry where your price the same, your service is the same, and you make the same offer to your customers? You're going to be in a red ocean. That is going to be a bloodbath. The blue ocean is you're doing something so unique. You stand out. You're so different. You have a unique process, a unique approach, a unique way of getting people's attention. You'll have no competition. Like think about how much time Netflix had to gather up subscribers before all the other streamers jumped in, and now it's a red ocean. They had at least a 10-year gap where they had zero competition. And so that's what all the people on here with a business want to be thinking is like, how do I separate myself? How do I be unique? How do I be the Ultimate Warrior, the Undertaker, the Stone Cold Steve Austin of my, business, my service, my industry? So that would be the first lesson. The second is absolutely that you have to embrace marketing. All right. And so a lot of business owners either fall into two categories. They're either product or promotion driven. Product is they like to tinker and make the product better, and they like to just tweak it. And promotion is they like getting on the camera, they like making ads, they like going out and shaking hands and building out relationships. But you need somebody in every business that owns both of those to get the best growth. If you're very promotion driven and your product sucks, you'll make a lot of sales, but word will start getting around. It wasn't so good once you got in, right? And if you're very product driven, maybe you only get referrals because you're never out promoting. And so like, yes, you can live off that, but you're not seeing that immense growth because you don't got that speaking person out there really speaking it out on a big level, right? So what I learned was that the shows that had the worst attendance, that had the lowest ticket sales, the owner just loved wrestling and he just paid all the wrestlers and he paid the rental for the venue and he just never spent $1 on marketing. And then Vince McMahon, who just recently sold WWE for billions, and he bought it for $1 million in the 80s. That's a pretty good investment to buy something for $1 million, and 40 years later you make $1 billion.
Of course, because he also bought up all the competition. He was wild. He didn't listen to Daddy. He broke all of Daddy's rules, and he changed the face of wrestling forever.
Yes,
that's we have Vince may have his things, but you cannot deny his impact. On the business.
And he's very promotion driven. I would actually say most people are still watching to this day, and the product's not even that good, but they're really good at promotion. The entrance is over the top. They bring in famous movie stars and musicians to perform at WrestleMania. They're very promotion driven. And so
Yeah.
that's the thing, is that, you gotta balance it out. I learned you gotta have promotion and product. That's the best of both worlds in business. So that was another lesson I learned as well.
Oh man, amazing. All right, so let me ask you here then. So, what are the lessons that you found when you opened up 6 gyms in 6 years? You hear this, folks? 6 gyms in 6 years. Whoa,
Yeah.
crazy. So, what were the learning lessons there, like to upscale so quickly?
Yeah. So I embrace marketing and sales so much. As you see, I got really good at launching a gym, but where I got
Nice.
humbled was the long-term success.
Ah,
Anybody can do the hot new thing in town and say, hey, this gym's coming to town and here's what we do and here's how we're unique. And so I got people's attention. I got them in. And so to me, I thought it's just going to keep being like this. We'll just keep having a ton of members. I'm going to go do this in another town. I'm going to open another gym. I'm going to go to another town, another town. And so I did 6 gyms in 6 years. Here was the mega learning lesson that I learned that humbled me, because I had actually ended up having to close 2 of those locations and I had to sell a third one. So it
wow.
wasn't all sunshines and rainbows. And here was the learning lesson for all the business people. I did not know at that point in my life how to scale leadership and culture. And so you hear these words thrown around, but I didn't know them because I'm just this dummy guy that knew how to do personal training and a pro wrestler. And I didn't know what a business is all about. And I quickly realized, like, hey, when you're gone, the cat's are away, the mice will play. Like, some people are showing up late. Some people are not living to the standards. Some people are leaving the gym dirty. Some people are not paying attention to the members and they're going and checking their phone. And so the standards are going down when you're not there, Dustin. You need a leader. You need someone that's going to
Yes.
hold the line. They're going to hold the standards. They'll be there when you're not there. And they have to be all in on the mission. And so I had to learn the hard way. I need to build leaders. I need to build a bench of leaders.
Mm.
And so that's something I do now that I didn't do then. And I had to learn that humbling lesson. The second part is the culture. And so I am very task driven. Most business owners are kind of wired the same way. I need you to do this task for this much dollars per hour, get the task done, no excuses. And so what I didn't understand was like, hey, tasks are fine, but the way that you do it puts people in a certain state. And so Tony Robbins says, change your state, change your life. So if I greet someone at the gym, hey, hey, Al, how's it going? Welcome. We're glad to have you, dude. You ready to do a great 8 a.m. workout? I'm putting you in a certain state because of my excitement and my energy. But let's say I'm just putting the equipment around and I'm reorganizing everything. I'm like, hey, Al, welcome in. And then I
You
just
just
go
give me
back
a
to
head nod. The dude head
yeah,
nod,
right.
right?
Or yeah, like that.
And that's it. Like,
So,
okay.
so both of those things, the employee can say, I checked the box. I did a greeting. Dustin, you want me to greet them? I greeted them. But what I had to learn and challenge in terms of culture is how you make people feel. And so I said, yes, you did the greeting, but how did you make them feel when you did the greeting? Right. And so like I was so task driven, open the gym, close the gym, greet the members, run the session. I missed the part about culture of like, how do you make people feel when they walk in? How do you make people feel when they walk out? How do you make people feel when you text them? Right. Like we've all been there where you got to do collections. Well, you can write it in a way where it puts me in a negative state, and we could put it in a way where you could put me in a positive state. So that was a big aha that I like to share with business owners. Like all your systems, all your tasks, go through and read them and say, what state are we putting the person in? Are we coming from us, the company, and we need your money, your past due, or hey, what's up at the gym? Are you being mindful of the state you're putting that customer in? Because that is what they talk about to their friends and family. It's like, I love this company because every time they reach out to me, I'm just in a better mood. Or I don't like this company, never go there because every time they reach out, they're rude, they're short, they're to the point, and they don't really care about relationships. So you don't want to be that company, right? So those are some things that I learned that were the hard lessons, the school of hard knocks of closing 3 gyms down out of those 6.
Wow. And how soon within the 6 years that you have to go through that experience of closing the 3?
I mean, it was pretty much like back to back, open them in 6 years, and then back to back sell or close them in 3 years. So as quickly as we went up, we came down. Yeah,
Gotcha.
it
So
was
basically, you got checked and humbled
yes.
by life. Gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha. But thankfully you learned lessons. You got those 3 spots open. So let's talk about sales problems in most companies because you were kind of touching them, right now. So what are the 3 though top sales problems in most companies, other than that outreach or that cold outreach, not
Yeah.
engaging with the customer in the right place? What else is there?
Yeah, number one, I feel like most businesses don't make sales because they go for the ask way too quickly. It's like taking a girl out on the first date and saying, "Will you marry me?" It's like she's gonna be like, "What the heck?" Like, calm down. So when you get someone that opts in on your ad or reaches out and DMs you, and immediately you're like, "Hey, nice to meet you. We got this great sale. You can buy this. What do you say?" You're immediately
Click.
pushing people off, and because they can smell you're money hungry and you're desperate, you're asked for the sale. So the number one I say, or number one thing I would say first is like trust equals transactions. That's like a tweetable, a writer downer for everybody who's in business. Trust equals transactions. What do I mean? The person does not buy until a certain level of trust has been met. So the reason referrals are ready to buy from you is they trust you because the other customer sent them, and their trust has been like pre-established because your customer pre-sold them. But a cold person who does not know you, they need to learn about your service. They need to read your content. They need to be on your email list. They need to watch your posts on social media. They need to kind of stalk you a little. And then they will make a self decision of like, I align with these people. I want to transact my money for their services. And so that would be the first problem is we're not building trust. We're just going for the sale way too quick. So that'd be the first thing I'd say is just like spend more time building trust. The second is do more follow-up. So I have a company that is completely about follow-up. It's called Gym Reinforcements. We do follow-up for gym owners. And so essentially, this is something I found is a problem in all businesses, that when you call them, they don't call you back, they don't follow up, or if they do, you might get one and then they're done with you. And so it leaves the customer having to do more work, or the more energy you make me expend, I'm just going to go start looking somewhere else for someone that's doing service for me. They're making my life easy. And so the big thing that's missing in most businesses is they're just not doing enough follow-up. And so I would say increase your follow-up 2, 3, even sometimes 5x. We got into a company that they did one reach out and that's it. And we had to 10x their follow-up. We do 10 reach outs in the first week. And it's because people are busy, like they got things going on. So you got to text, call, email, social media, DM. And I know this kind of goes against what I just said. You said, well, Dustin, you're asking too much, you're pitching too much, but then you're telling me to increase my follow-up. Yes, but the follow-up is more about like discovering their problem. What is your problem? Why did you reach out? What have you tried to do to solve this problem on your own? What made you decide to reach out to us? These are like discovery questions. You're not asking yet. You're just trying to get to know them, right?
Of course, you're trying to catch the feel for the energy and the vibe of what's going on with the situation, so that way you could offer them the proper product for what they need. So there's nothing wrong with a follow-up. I agree that I've never really been annoyed by follow-ups, but the first thing you mentioned is what I do get annoyed by. Hey Al, check this out. Look what I got. How about hello? How you doing? Let's converse for a moment. I need to feel that vibe. I am definitely one of those. It is about a vibe for me. And if I don't like your vibe, I am not buying.
Exactly. So those are two. I'd say the third and final one is just, if you guys do want more sales, it does come down to a volume game. More combos equals more cash. And so people are like, hey, I'm a salesperson. It's slow. I'm not making it. And I'm like, how many calls did you make? And 40, I already did 40 calls a day. I'm like, we want to see 100 before lunch, and then you're going to do another 100. You just did 40 for the day. What have you been doing all day? And so we just start slipping into just very, coasting type of habits where you want to come in and be like ready to attack. And so there's a book that most people know in business, 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. There's a big lesson that people miss though. They read 10X your goals. You want to make $1 million, make 10 million. You want 100 members, go get, 1,000 members, like 10X your goal. But what they miss is he also wrote about it will be 10X harder. It will require 10X more volume than you think. And so that's what he also primes you for. It's not just you set bigger goals and then you achieve them. It will also require more hardship, more struggle, more resilience. And so what most salespeople do is they kind of have a number and they just try to hit that number of calls and outbound a day. And they don't try to 10X it. You're doing 40 calls a day. What would happen if you did 200? I bet you would make more sales. I bet you'd earn more commission if you just broke your sales habits, right? So just do more outreach. That would be the third one.
See, folks, you hear it? Get your game on, all right? but be friendly and respectful and humble and talk to people. Don't be salesy, all right?
Yeah,
So talk about it.
yeah,
Well, because you're talking about how you helping business owners to grow their business and do their thing, with this outreach. So talk to me. You have a couple of things. I need to know, what is the fortune follow-up system and what is the charm sales process? I mean, look at this guy. He
yeah.
got acronyms and a whole bunch of stuff going on.
So I'll hit these quick because I know we're on a specific time frame. But Fortune Follow Up is basically 3 systems that are built to help you get more sales. And so the first one is for leads, the second is for your existing database, and the third is for your past customers. And so your new leads, we kind of touched on that. Reach out to them 10 times in the first week, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, Monday through Friday, 10 reach outs. I call that the 5x2 follow-up system, right? The second is reaching out to 10% of your database a day. So if you have, let's say, 2,000 leads, you're going to reach out to 200 of them, but you want to come in with value. Like, again, you don't want to go in and just be pitching, hey, do you want this free guide? Hey, I just recorded a podcast. You want to listen to it? Hey, here's a video I put up, free content. Like, give them value, and then people will naturally see you as an authority. So send that to 10% of your prospects every single day. Just send out value. And then the third is pretty much finding new business from old business. And so your customers that are already done business with you are some of the easiest customers to resell. But a lot of people don't think of making them a past member offer. It should be specifically crafted. Hey, I miss working with you. Hey, I want to check in. Maybe we could work together again. And that is something that is a great way to just, if you're in a weird sales slump, I got new leads, I need to make some sales, go call all your past customers. They probably would reorder and re-sign up with your service, right?
Brand
So that's
loyalty, baby.
yeah.
So nice. I like that. Absolutely truth.
But yes, the charm, that's basically an acronym I put together to help people who feel really weird about sales to just take it through, to go through sales and not feel slimy. And so it's just an acronym, and just kind of a brief overview. The C is crack a smile, because people are going to have their fists up until you disarm them. So you need to smile. You need to get them to smile. You need to crack a joke, but that's the C. Then the H is how can I help? And you're now just trying to discover their problem, right? A is ask about the pain. So whatever they said I need help with is probably going to be a surface answer. Most people are like, I just want to check you guys out. I want to see your prices. They're just going to give you a very general answer. So the A is like, what is the pain that you wanted to dig into, right? Like, that's the A. R is now reveal your solution, whatever you have for sale. And then M is make the sale, which basically means ask for it, because a lot of people, you'll be surprised, lose a sale because they use a very general open-ended close and they don't ask for it. So they'll say, okay, if that sounds good, just let me know when you want to get started. And it's like, you might as well just open the door and walk them out, because they're not going to buy with a soft close like that.
Right? How about, hey, I know you love what I heard. Here, sign here, and we'll get started tomorrow. All right? Let's get it happen. Let's make it happen. I hear you, brother. We got. I'm a New Yorker. I understand that for sure. Got to make it happen now, not later, not a minute from now. Now.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the acronym though. That's some real business. All right, so there's 2 more questions. I ain't too much of a stickler on time. Don't you worry. But I definitely want to get these 2, because again, it's part of the business stuff, right? So, what are 3 lead generation strategies that most business owners miss? As you said, well, actually, you already discussed that kind of, right? Because it was the you kind of relayed over that, and then leveraging content to get nonstop leads. That's the question. How do we leverage content?
So unfortunately, most businesses are just not making any content. So that's problem number 1. You guys just need to get posting, let the world see what you're doing. Cause like, you're just so used to just doing your thing and just doing your day-to-day operations that you don't give the world an inside look. So it's like, if you're a landscaper, do before and after photos. If you're a trainer, do a before and after photo. If you help people with their business, again, they might not be comfortable you're sharing their before and after revenue, but you could say we helped them grow X amount of revenue in a month. But like, essentially, let the world see what you do, because it builds authority. Every business owner is going to say they're awesome. It's when another person says you're awesome. And so the way you leverage content to get more leads is you put out more interviews with your clients. You put out more testimonials, You can get the whole little box where it's like a quote and it says, by Joe, he said this. But those have gotten stale for most people. And honestly, they just don't believe that it's a real customer. You got to get someone like this on Zoom, on StreamYard, on video saying, I'm so glad I worked with X company because they helped X happen. And that is literally an ad you can run on Facebook. You can chop it up and put it out as content. But like as a business owner, this might sound like, oh, another thing to do. This is very much worth your time to get 10 or 20 clients on camera saying you're awesome. Every business says they're awesome. It's when your customer says you're awesome that you really are. So collect that. That is valuable. That's gold. That could be your content. It's just nonstop video testimonials of saying you're great. That is when you'll see a huge boom in business.
Yeah, and I agree. The same thing applies to a website. For example, when you could put up all the dopest content you want, but if you're not getting those backlinks that make you a domain authority, your website ain't going nowhere. So it applies to everything in life, folks. You gotta apply. You gotta apply yourself and make it happen. And for any business owner to say, "Oh, just another thing," then you don't care about the business. Because if you really want to grow and eat forever and create a legacy, listen to what Dustin is saying here. You really got to do the work. 10 times work, why not? Make it happen. I'll do 20 times the work if I have to, so I can live comfortably later. Why not? So I'm digging it. That's why this is why Dustin is leading the way, as it says right above his head, and you can see the book right above his shoulder too about that book. So where can we pick up that gem of a book? Hey, look at that! He just boom out of nowhere. What? Talk about salesy. Boom! I got it right here. So where can we pick that baby up? Hey, double whammy on it right here, brother. Talk about marketing, man. So talk about the book. Where can I get that baby? And can I get an autograph? Are you going to be anywhere too? Tell me all this good stuff.
It is on Amazon. It's on hardcover, paperback, Kindle, and we're looking to get it on audio very soon. It's called Reinforce Your Gym. I do want to caution the listeners. They might write it off saying, oh, it's a gym book. It's for gym owners. Any business owner can get benefit from this because there's 3 main sections. There's a section about marketing, sales, and leadership. And I know any business, if those 3 things improve, their business will grow. So don't write it off just because it says reinforce your gym. It's reinforce your business. And yes, I will be in Michigan in the summer doing a couple of workshops. If you guys got any events out there in New York, Al, let me know. I'd love to come out. And yes, if you guys want a signature copy, just send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram. I can sign it and I'll personally mail it off to you because obviously they don't offer that on Amazon. So that would be the way to get that.
Excellent. And I've been showing that off the Insta. You could hit him up on his Instagram at Dustin.Bogle. All right. And of course, I showed this off a couple of times that gym owners can learn about the services. And if it's a good fit for them, he could help you with lead follow-up sales and administrative work. And all you got to do is go to gymreinforcements.com. The link is also below, folks. So feel free to click away, ask those questions. If you're a business owner, Dustin is going to lead the way for your business to hit that top point, baby. That's what it is. All right. And probably pump you up too. Get you energized. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it. Dustin, man, thank you so much for sharing your tips, your journey and all. And one last thing before we go, actually. If you could have a dream match with any wrestler ever in history, alive or dead, who would it be?
Oh, man, that is so tough. But if it was in the 80s, I don't think there's anything that would beat being in the ring with Hulk Hogan. Like, that would be amazing, right? So yeah. All
right. So would you? What was your special move when you were a wrestler? Are you telling me you're gonna take his leg drop? Would you take the loss?
Of course, I'm gonna lay down for Hulk Hogan because he's the king. But yes, I had a power bomb called the Hellraiser when I was Diablo. So yes, I would try to hit him with the Hellraiser. He might reverse, give me the old clothesline and leg drop and call it a day. So yeah.
Look, Hulk, if you ever want to have a match, there we go. Dustin is ready for you. Yeah. It's already choreographed. All right. So now, thanks again, Dustin. And folks, make sure to again check out Dustin at gymreinforcement.com. Follow, show the love, because this is what we do here at the A.M.P. Show the love, and we got to help each other grow, stay motivated, stay hungry, folks. Make sure everybody could eat, not just yourselves. All right. And with that, thank you again for your time. I'm Al Mega with the A.M.P. baby and Mr. Dustin Bogle. Later. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the A.M.P. Podcast. We hope you've enjoyed listening to the insights and stories from our guests. Remember, Success is a journey, not a destination. And every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goals. Don't give up on your dreams and keep pushing forward. Until next time, thank you for tuning in and stay motivated.